And we're live.
Sound working?
I need Mackenzie when she's done. Chris can't get into the drive and I know. It's your fault. Still got sick kids? And they're just not connecting. It's not a phone. No, that's why. And it's still blue. Sorry, my stupid mouse won't work. On the old computer. Oh. How did you do that? I was pressing buttons. It's usually one of those two.
Okay, we're good. Okay. So we'll go ahead with the minutes. So motion 4 was moved by Linda Lewine and seconded by Aaron Ferrante for the MBQ office Christmas closure. The MBQ offices will be closed on December 23rd, 2025 at 4:30 p.m. and reopen on January 5th, 2026 at 8:30 a.m. Motion 5, moved by Chris Brandt, seconded by Chris Miracle, to approve to contract Jay Herbert of Falls Law Group to draft an MBQ trespass bylaw in the amount of $35,000 plus disbursements and travel costs as needed. Motion 6 was moved by Aaron Ferrante and seconded by Chase Ogwari Brandt to approve the business registration for tiny farm owner Rawalunde Jesse Brandt. Motion 7, moved by Curtis Brandt, seconded by Aaron Ferrante, to approve the business registration renewal for Eagle Hill Capital owner Danielle Brandt. Motion 8, moved by Chris Brandt and seconded by Curtis Brandt, to approve the business registration renewal for Skin Esteem Aesthetics owner Nicole Kershaw. Motion 9, moved by Ogwari Brandt, seconded by Linda Lewine, to approve the following land transfers. One from Beverly Ann Hill LaRue to Dylan Robert Barry Allen Ford for parcel 8, lot 13, concession 2, CLSR 4488. From Charles Edmund Gamble to Rosutste John Douglas Baptiste for lot 23L-19-2, concession A, CLSR 110856. From Nicole Annette Storms to Michaela Dawn Claudel Storms Reed, Courtney Kendra Lee Storms and Nicole Annette Storms as joint tenants for lot 20F-2, concession A, RSO 5457R. From Chris Montgomery Miracle and Susan Lynn Miracle to Susan Lynn Miracle and Douglas Raymond Bernhardt for lot 21J-4, concession A, CLSR 114290. From Carmen Albert Miracle to Holly Lynn Van Berkel for lot 27C-1, concession 2, RSO 5511R. From Barbara Jane Hill to Rose Carla Hill for lot 21F-4, concession A, RSO 3919R. From Kim Baptiste and Karen Ann Baptiste to Mario Maurice 2 Baptiste for parcel M, lot 5, concession A, CLSR 5184. From Gordon James Armstrong to Lisa Noreen Miracle for lot 1-6, concession 1, CLSR 85441, and lot 1-7, concession 1, CLSR 85441. From Catherine Eileen Hill to Jordan Craig Hill and Kayla Megan Hill for lot 29J-1-1, concession A, save and accept lot 29-3, and right away CLSR 107948, RSO 107948. These motions were carried. Councillor Chris M. Miracle declared conflict of interest on item number 4. Motion 10 was moved by Aaron Ferrante and seconded by Linda Lewine that the Tyendinaga Mohawk Council supports the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte to act as the flow-through for the Children's Oral Health Initiative, COHI funding from Indigenous Services Canada for the 2025-26 fiscal year. and subsequently transfer the funds to the Southeast Health Unit. This approach ensures uninterrupted delivery of the COHI program and continued support for children's oral health in the community. MCR number 2025-26-59 was carried. Motion 11, moved by Chris Brandt, seconded by Aaron Ferrante, to approve the Dahadi Gusa Dunji Head Start and Exo Guan Child Care Center illness policy revisions. Motion was carried. Motion 12, moved by Aaron Ferrante and seconded by Curtis Brandt, to approve to pay the JFK Law invoices number 403682 in the amount of $490 for a human rights tribunal, number 403724 in the amount of $2,743 for general advice was carried. Motion 13, moved by Ogwari Brandt and seconded by Linda Lewine, to approve signing the ISC agreement number 2122-ON-000027, amendment number 0112 in the amount of $44,528 for 25-26 elementary secondary education budget allocations. That was carried. Motion number 14, moved by Chris Brandt, seconded by Chase Ogwari Brandt, to approve the seniors interest-free loan policy revisions to update the low income determination, was carried. Motion 15, moved by Chris Miracle and seconded by Curtis Brandt, to approve to pay the Allen Pratt invoices number 6413 in the amount of $4,960 for Culbertson Tract land claim, number 6414 in the amount of $1,770 for surrender number 24, number 6415 in the amount of $2,070 for Turton Pen loss of use, number 6417 in the amount of $880 for Culbertson Tract additions to reserve. That was carried. Motion 16 was moved by Chris Brandt and seconded by Aaron Ferrante to approve purchasing a table at the Belleville General Hospital Foundation's fundraiser gala in the amount of $2,000. That motion was carried. Council confirmed the following scheduled meetings: November 12th, Tyendinaga Mohawk Council local business. November 19th and December 3rd will be regular business. November 26th, local business, and December 17th was Tyendinaga Council regular. Motion 17, moved by Chase Ogwari Brandt and seconded by Aaron Ferrante, that this meeting go into private at 2:12 p.m. That motion was carried. Are there any revisions, errors, omissions, anything that you guys did? Yep.
I believe that it was added to the agenda to have an additional candidates forum. Motion was on the floor, but no seconder. Is that not the same meeting? I'm sorry?
Yes, it was, and I missed it.
Yeah.
It will be added.
Okay, so for the record, it was added to the agenda, have an additional candidates forum, and nobody else shared my sense of transparency to give the community a chance, and there was no seconder.
Well, I
Please
think
ensure it's added to the minutes. Thank you.
was discussed was that it's not up to council because council doesn't run the election, for reference. Any other errors or omissions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the minutes as
Almost.
updated? Is there any business arising from the minutes? Seeing none, motion's carried. TMC meetings outside the territory. So there was a special Iroquois Caucus meeting November 30th in Ottawa, and an AFN annual General Assembly, which is December 1st to 4th, which is where Chief is now. Does anybody else have any? Yeah.
Yes, I have, the chief and I will be attending the AFLDC board meeting on the 9th and 10th in Toronto.
DC board meeting.
Sorry, 10th and 11th got the minute.
Perfect. December 10th and 11th. And that's Chief and Linda.
And that's all I have.
Does anybody else have any meetings outside the territory? No? Can we have a motion for Chief and Linda to attend the ALFDC?
I'll second.
Okay, is everybody okay with that? Motion's carried. Item number 4. The TMC, increasing the TMC honorarium and benefits. So this is to increase the honorarium for chief to $65,000 annually, to increase the honorarium for counselors to $39,000 annually, and to acknowledge the TMC benefits package that's been provided in your drives. Did everybody get a chance to? Oh, yeah.
Sorry, and that's effective December 18th.
Yes, this would be effective December 18th for new council, not this council. So the briefing note that is brought forward akin to this is TMC requested to pursue benefits for council. The background is that TMC can have access to the new health and or wellness spending accounts up to $250 a month, which is a contribution from MBQ. TMC does not qualify for life insurance as they do not work 20 hours per week standardly. However, they can pursue alternative life insurance for TMC. TMC does not qualify for STD or LTD. TMC can be part of a pension plan up to the year that a member is turning 72 as per the CRA requirements. And this would be a 50-50 share at a rate of 5.5%. TMC Gov does not have the money for this contribution. Benefits, even limited benefits, will assist in attracting candidates for upcoming elections potentially. So the options are to approve the health and or wellness spending accounts only. The impact is $42,000 over a 2-year term for 7 members of council at $250 per month. It will be an incentive for future prospective candidates for TMC and will provide some support for upcoming council. Option 2 is to approve to pursue additional life insurance only. The impact is that we do not have a quote for that, as it would be dependent on each individual. This would be term life insurance, and our current policy is for those 64 and under. As TMC does not work the minimum each week as stated in the policy, this would be at a rate lower than that of an employee, which is currently 2.5 times their annual salary. This will provide support for those on council and could be an incentive for those considering to run in the future. Option 3, to approve to pursue a pension, the impact for a 2-year term at 5.5% of the new rates of TMC, MBQ's share would be $32,890. Each member who meets the requirement would contribute 5.5%, which would work out to be $68.75 per week for the chief position and $41.25 per week for the counselor positions, which would be matched by MBQ. Again, there is no funding for this. However, it will be beneficial to the new council and be an incentive for prospective future candidates. Number 4 is to approve all benefits, the HSA, WSA, life, and pension. The impact is that we will not have an estimation on the life insurance as it's based on the individuals. However, the cost for pension and the spending accounts will be $74,890 per term over 2 years, plus the cost of life insurance, which is cost shared with the members of TMC. There's no budget for this either. However, it would be a benefit to the new council and an incentive for prospective future candidates. And option 5 would be to decline any benefits for TMC at this time. So council will not have these benefits for the upcoming term. However, we could consider direction B to seek funding for these benefits, and this decision can be reviewed either during the term and or for the next council election 2027. So this would need a motion of council to accept increasing the honorarium for chief to $65,000, increasing the honorarium for councilors to $39,000, and your decision on the TMC benefits. If you would like to have benefits, if you want to have the insurance, or seek additional clarification and not do them at this time as there isn't funding.
Just a question about the benefits. Is it together in a whole package, or could the chief be separated from counselors? And the reason why I'm asking is because the chief is full-time. Counselors are not.
So I think you have to consider that it has to be for the position and not the person in the position, because there isn't anything currently outlining that the chief is a full-time position. It's an honorarium, so it wouldn't be counted as a full-time position.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Well, I would be good with, just for now, it's just to give the raises for the chief and for the counselors, but for the benefits, not right now until we can seek the funding.
Okay.
Because that, I believe that'd be too much pressure on community dollars.
Absolutely.
I can second that one.
Okay. Do you want to motion that, Linda?
Yes, I'll motion it.
I'm good with that.
You're
I think
okay?
that's a very sensible way of looking at it, as each one of these options state that there is no funding for available right now.
But that would give the next council the opportunity to, when they go to the lobby meeting, to be able to pursue that.
Absolutely.
So I'm putting approve honorariums for chief and council, and to defer the TMC benefits package to seek additional funding.
Yes.
That was motioned by Linda and seconded by Oguari. And everybody's okay. Chris, are you okay with that? Chris Miracle? You agree? Motion's carried. The next item is Eli's lane limits and hammerhead end treatment. So the current issue is they are presenting a final design of the necessary hammerhead for the Eli's Lane unopened road, a right-of-way project, and outline factors leading to the final design. They're seeking TMC's approval of the attached proposal or proposed final hammerhead design for the Eli's Lane unopened right-of-way. Would you like me to read the briefing note? Yep. So the background is, this has been prepared by Pete and Megan Murphy. So the timeline as to why Eli's Lane unopened right-of-way is not going all the way from Ridge to Hickory. The original design and intent were for the road to go straight through from Ridge to Hickory. Based on the original design and community consultation, it was determined that the bluff is posing issues with tie-in distances to adjacent properties, as there would be a 6-meter or 20-foot cut in the bluff to accommodate a standard designed road system. And the driveway tie-ins would not be ideal. Additionally, the bluff is comprised of sand within the existing ROW, which poses challenges. Stabilization factors would be a major concern. After PIC, a property owner has an adjacent property less than 1 acre and intends to build. The tie into property was significant, as they would lose 1/3 of their property. They notified MBQ of personally significant apple trees on their property that would be removed should the road go all the way through to Hickory. They were not comfortable with the property loss or tree removal. 2 additional adjacent property owners would also lose some of their property if the road was to go straight through. Based on the above considerations and internal discussions, it was decided to stop Eli's construction prior to the bluff but far enough to service the 2 adjacent lots at the bluff. The original plan included a cul-de-sac at the end of the proposed road that would require land for infrastructure. An adjacent property owner was initially approached to inquire about land needed from their property. They outlined that they would have to inquire with family on selling a portion of the property. They were already provided funds for a temporary driveway so they could start building. Chris M. came into Peter's office and inquired if MBQ had a plan B if the initially approached property owner was not agreeable to sell. He outlined he was willing to sell or trade property to accommodate the cul-de-sac if needed. Received an email from the initially approached property owner with an offer to trade the land, the 0.4 acres needed for the cul-de-sac, and they requested 2.5 acres. The request seemed unreasonable given they had provided them $17,000 for their temporary access. They would have also been offered the standard rate per meter squared for the 0.4 acres required. Pete sent an email to Chris regarding his offer and provided a sketch attached per the initial discussion. Chris requested an easement off of Hickory Road to access his adjacent property in exchange for the 0.4 acres required for the cul-de-sac. Chris was dissatisfied with the placement of the easement on west side of MBQ property. He requested the easement cut through the middle of the property of MBQ's. In considering potential future use of the MBQ property, cutting through the middle was not ideal. Therefore, due to time constraints, MBQ sought a hammerhead within the right-of-way as not to impact any private properties. We received new drawings from Monument with a proposed hammerhead that would extend further south than the original design to accommodate large vehicle turnarounds. Megan and Nick conducted a site visit on Eli's to identify the apple trees of concern. One large apple tree was identified on the edge of the right-of-way. 2 apple and pear trees were identified in the right-of-way, one within the area of the proposed hammerhead that would have to be removed, and one outside of the proposed hammerhead. They extended the hammerhead design as far south as possible in consideration of accommodating large vehicles, providing as much frontage to adjacent property owners as possible, the topography of the bluff, preserving whatever pear and apple trees they can, and they are seeking approval of the final hammerhead design which has been attached to move forward with construction. Considerations is communication between all parties took time that was causing delay to the construction of the cul-de-sac hammerhead. Given the time constraints of the entire project, we had to continue to explore all potential options quickly. Option 1 is do not approve the proposed limits of construction with the hammerhead design. There's no pros for this. The cons are political implications, public relations, construction delay, additional construction costs, further design costs, property loss of use. Option 2 is to approve the proposed limits of construction with the hammerhead design. The pros are avoiding political public relation implications. There's no construction delay, no additional costs, approved budget including cul-de-sac, and no private property loss. The cons, the road will not extend to Hickory. The recommendation is to go with option 2 to approve the proposed final hammerhead design for the Eli's Lane unopened right-of-way, given the overall benefits and the time considerations. So there is new drawings from Monument attached.
Can someone clarify where the end of this road is being proposed?
It's on the map.
And for my fellow councilors, yes, it is correct that I did offer options for the council. You couldn't get others to facilitate the turnaround. I simply asked you one thing. One thing. Take the road, not down the hill. I appreciate all that. But take the road to the end of the road, just like over at Norway's, how it comes to a dead end. My family, this project's been approved. I declare conflict of interest. I left the room in good conscience. I did not participate. I did not sway anything. I left the room. This project was approved. I can appreciate engineers saying don't take it over the hill. I simply made one request, one simple request, that my family, my daughter, and my grandchildren be able to access their property off of this new road with water, with a road access like 10,000 other band members. But all of a sudden now, some lady in the county designates a tree, a heritage tree, and we stop construction. We pull up stakes. We go somewhere else because some lady in the county designated a pear tree. And this has taken more twists and turns, this little thing here. I asked you one simple question, Chris. My daughter and my grandchildren are going to access top of that hill. It stopped right before the property owner in question. There's no reason why this road isn't going 200 feet further to connect to my property.
Well,
And
I
at
think
3 o'clock, I have a meeting, and you're going to find out. It's not going to end here, Chris. I'm
Okay.
telling you right now, it's not going to end. I'm not going to stand for this discrimination.
Okay, Chris, it's been
Because you're
explained
addressing
in
me,
this.
I'd like
Council,
to
all council.
Okay, well, but you actually named me, Chris.
Okay, because I know
And
you're
you looked
a
at-
voice of
okay.
reason.
I know. If you were looking at the road design, that hill that was stated actually has to be cut through the hill.
I'm not talking about that. So it's
Okay,
a non-starter. So don't go there. It's a non-starter. I'm not talking about that.
So what are you asking about the access from Ridge Road onto your properties?
Okay.
Okay, now we have, what is that, how big is that, lot that Chris is asking for?
I'm not asking for nothing.
What we were shown on that picture, how big is that piece of property? that's in the zone?
He has property behind.
Yes, I realize that, but they wanted to give you access on the edge of the MBQ land, not right through the middle.
I'm not discussing that, Chris.
Oh, okay. Something
I want
different.
you to hone in. Don't hone in on what the people across the road over there, because that's what this thing, it goes, the people over there. Hell of a story. I make one request. That road continues past the person who doesn't want you to put it. Oh, they got their service, but they don't want me and my family to have a service. Yeah, it is true.
I'm lost.
Well, you spend 2 minutes, you go down there, Chris, because this isn't gonna end here. It's gonna end two ways, but the road, we're gonna have service like anybody else. You do it here, you can agree to give my family, like anybody else, access to our land, or we do it another way.
Okay, well, this is a conflict of interest for you, Chris.
No, it's not a
I think
conflict.
you
The project is approved.
stated your point.
What I'm saying is you guys are participating in discriminatory practice against my daughter and my family. And you're saying, go somewhere else. And I'm saying, no, this road was approved.
Okay, you've
And I
spoken
hope
your
Sean's
piece.
watching.
Chris,
I hope Sean's watching.
as the chair, you've spoken your piece. Thank you. This is a conflict of interest. We won't hear from you now for the rest of this piece. We're dealing with the issue at hand as it is dictated in this briefing note. So it has been mentioned in this briefing note that everybody who has plans to build will still have access how this hammerhead is being proposed.
No, they don't. Why don't they?
I motion
Carmen,
two.
my neighbor, Carmen, is 87 years old. Let me finish. He's on a tank system. I plan on running a pipe down to his house and giving him service. I am paying for it. But I can't access it because you're stopping the road 200 feet short of my property. You're stopping the road. I don't think you guys realize that. If you go down there and have a quick look, that road comes to an abrupt stop 200 feet away from my property, and I've got property to access it, and you're saying no.
So is this the issue of the water? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question, Chris.
It's a water and a road.
Is the issue of the water, I said.
It's a water and road.
Oh, yeah? He got access for Carmen's property on the hill.
Top of the hill. We cannot access our land top of the hill. I want to go a direct line from the road onto my property. You're saying, oh no, go a couple hundred feet back and go that way. Yes, you did say it earlier. You said you got property, you can access it down below. You don't dictate how I access my property.
I didn't say down below. You got access off Eli's.
Okay, so there's a motion on the table from Chris Brandt to approve the proposed limits of
Well, then-
constructing with the hammerhead design. So that motion would be to accept option number 2 as it's described in the briefing note. Do we have a seconder?
Can I address this?
Yes.
There is other options to this, but people just don't want to listen. Okay, so when you're ready to listen for the different options, then we'll talk.
Absolutely. You go ahead. You have the floor.
That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, what are
That's
the
all
other
I'm saying,
options?
is that there is different options
Okay.
to do this. But nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to give up their property, okay?
Right.
And you can't make the road safe if we don't adhere to a standard. I'm sorry, that's just, we're not saying that, I don't know how else to put it.
Okay, you just made a comment that said nobody wants to give up their property. I offered up all kinds of property. And I didn't ask you for an arm and a leg in return. I just said, give me a straight exchange of land. But you're being told something totally different. And you're singing a different tune. I said, hey, if the other people don't want to give you an access, that's none of my business. That's none of my damn business what they do. But I said, when I declare conflict of interest and I remove myself from all discussions, when the dust had settled, I said, hey, I understand you can't, no turnarounds. Yeah. Okay, well, I will offer you some land for a turnaround at the end, top of the hill, or back down below in the coal. I said, hey, any of my land you want, take it for a turnaround and just simply give me some land in return. That's what I offered, Chris. And then what happened? You know what happened?
I'm looking at
Then what happened was, and I can appreciate, too expensive to cut the road. I appreciate that. No problem. But then all of a sudden, somebody says there's a tree here in the middle of the road, and because there's a tree here, we're stopping the road, and you're not going to get water, and you're not going to get a road to your property, because some lady, and this is verbatim, some lady in the county designated a tree heritage tree. And we're going to hang our hat on a heritage tree designation from some lady in the county, and a couple of people have taken that and run with it. Not going to wash. Not going to wash. So don't say nobody offered land. That's untrue. I'm tired of being nice.
Okay, so motion has been moved by Chris Brandt to proceed with option 2. We have been given a list of the incidences that they've occurred. Do we have a seconder for option 2?
I'll second it.
Okay. Why are you okay with that?
Is that what you use if you're not agreeing or disagreeing, abstaining?
I'm not,
No?
no, because I don't understand. And
Would
I'd like to
you-
go down there, have the opportunity to go down there and look for myself so I can understand exactly what everybody's talking about.
Yeah, okay.
Because I feel right now that you're talking over my head.
What's happened is where the road is coming
But I
up.
can see, I could feel better when I can see it.
Yeah,
I'll
Yeah.
take you at the break, Linda.
All right.
it's about the cut going through so that the road has a chance.
Because I just get confused, because when I hear South Eli, I see over here, right? And then when I hear about Hickory, it's down there, so I can't, in my head, I can't connect the two.
Linda, go look, see for yourself. Don't believe others.
Well, that's what I said, I want to go and see that, just said that. So I can be clear what the decision I'm making.
Yeah, no
Chris,
cuts are
are you
needed.
okay with deferring it until
Sure, we can.
Lynn
Yeah,
is able to see
if
it?
if the council doesn't understand, I mean, we were explained a little bit different than you guys were, being kind of a part of it. Well, you're not a part of it, so you don't know what's going on, but,
If I could see.
no,
that.
absolutely, I'm fine. Well, let's defer it then. I'll rescind that motion and we'll defer it until other councilors can go and check it out. Curtis, good?
Yep, I'm good with it.
Okay.
Then that way, when community member comes to me, at least I can explain it, because then I know what I'm talking about. Because it's easier to see, to feel, then I can explain it better. And I can understand it better.
So we will defer that until Linda's able to see that. Number 7, Lower Slash Road and Mowbray's water servicing. MBQ has experienced severe level 3 drought conditions this year. Homes that were serviced by groundwater wells were adversely impacted. 80% of the homes on Lower Slash Road and Mowbray's utilized the water delivery program. Lower Slash Road has higher density of housing on the list of unserviced roads. Residents on Lower Slash Road should be considered priority for water servicing, given the high density of housing and the lack of groundwater availability. Approximately $8.5 million is available in class action water funding. Estimated cost to service Lower Slash from Highway 49 to Bells Road and Mowbray's is $8.4 million. The recommendation is to see the attached briefing note, and it's recommended that TMC extend water servicing to Lower Slash Road by connecting to MBQ's water distribution system. Yes.
Motion to approve.
Okay, do you guys want to hear the briefing note?
I think we've heard about this for such a long time. I'll second Chris's motion.
Okay. Are
We
you
don't
guys
need
okay with
to,
that?
let's just get them water. They've been requesting that for, and promised over the last 2-3 years, whenever it started. So, let's just get it happening.
Chip, are you okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Ogori, Linda?
Yep.
Yep, okay.
Especially when the Lower Slash Road is the one with the biggest elliptics.
Exactly.
Perfect. Motion's carried. Water and sanitation incentive policies. So this would include a policy update. So you've got the policy in your drive. Oh, I don't think the briefing note's in here. In this package.
There should be one.
There is one. I read it last night.
What the goal is here is they want to combine these two?
3.
3? Oh, sure, 3.
It's purification, sanitation, and the holding tank.
And the holding tank, yeah.
So
Sorry,
it's
I
a
forgot about that
total
one.
of 3, 4, and 3, so it's 10,000
Yeah.
total. Combining them, and basically, if you use one up and you still need things down the road,
Yeah.
it's like you can still, like if you use your
Access.
purification, but not your sanitation, you can, by pulling them, you could actually still access the money up to the 10,000.
Oh, okay. So to
And
use
it was
So the-
approved, it was also discussed with ISC if that was consideration, if that was fine. And apparently they said, you can do that as long as it has to tie with water.
Perfect. So it looks like the options
Because
would
We do fund
The-
it from our minor capital.
Okay.
That's why.
to formally amend the policy to combine the sanitation, purification, and holding tank incentive policies into one. So that would provide additional assistance for homeowners, assist residents, maximize benefits, maintains a 50-50 cost share up to 10,000 total. The other options were to combine just 2 of them, and the third option would be to do nothing.
Combine all 3.
Yeah, that's the
I
recommendation.
motion.
A motion. Or second.
Chris has a question.
Do you have a
No,
question,
no, I
Chris?
was gonna motion.
Oh,
Good, thank you. Thank you, Linda.
So Chris and
You shout it
Ogwari.
out, Chris, if you want a motion, you shout
Which one? You?
Yes.
And everybody's good? Okay, motion's carried.
And that's really good that they allow you to use it at a later date if you want, still accessing the money.
Yeah.
If you don't do it right now and you do it in a year's time, well, you still can access that.
You just can't go beyond the limit, and eventually the holding tank will no longer be applicable once we have water to everybody.
Yeah, no, that'd be fine.
Okay. So we have a sustenance letter required for Agaa Ojija Barty Weatherden, a member of the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte. They require a letter signed by the chief that confirms she is a hunter from our community who hunts for sustenance purposes for a possession and acquisition license application for a non-restricted firearm.
I'll motion that.
Motion.
I'll second.
Everybody okay with the motion? Yep. Motion's carried. Oops. A sustenance letter for Griffin Michael Conger. They are a member of the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte, requiring a letter signed by the chief that confirms they're a hunter from our community and they hunt for sustenance purpose. They've successfully completed the PAL course and have passed the test and is requesting a letter from chief to have the application fees waived.
I'll motion that to,
Okay, Chris, do we have a seconder?
I'll second.
Chris Miracle. And everybody okay with that? Motion's carried. Next item is MBQ membership transfer policy. So as per the discussion at the last meeting, we are suspending the policy until further notice due to the increase of our own members applying for membership. So this was discussed to temporarily suspend the MBQ transfer of membership from another First Nation policy. This notice is what needs to be approved, I believe. And do the updates to the policy need to be approved as well? At the same time, or are they for still being worked on?
They're still being worked on.
They're
So
still
it's
being
just
worked on.
the motion to suspend it at this time.
Okay. So the letter reads, the Tyendinaga Mohawk Council wish to inform members that effective immediately, the MBQ transfer of membership from other First Nations policy is being suspended until further notice. The decision reflects TMC's responsibility to prioritize the needs of existing MBQ members and to ensure that community programs, services, and resources remain sustainable. The community's capacity to accommodate new members is limited. TMC believes that suspending membership transfers is a necessary step to prevent additional strain on programs, services, and resources that support our existing membership and growing families. During this period, no new transfers will be accepted or processed. Applications already received will not be processed, and applicants will be informed if the suspension is lifted in the future. The MBQ transfer of membership from other First Nations policy remains in place, but its implementation is temporarily paused. Updates will be provided as TMC determines how the policy can be reactivated in a way that supports community interests and capacity. The Tyendinaga Mohawk Council appreciates your understanding and cooperation and reaffirms its commitment to protecting the well-being of our members and our future generations. There's just a couple of corrections to spelling, but do you agree with the post?
yes, I agree.
And then we'll review the policy as it becomes completed. Did you want to motion that, Chris?
I will motion that, yes.
And I'll second.
Crispy Linda to post with the corrections and continue reviewing policy. Is everybody okay with that? Everybody? Motion's carried. Next item is the risk management policy. So the proposed risk management policy that outlines MBQ's new risk management program and procedures. So this policy was placed in your drive.
More formalized processes, but it's also a part of accreditation and stuff too. a
renovation?
part of accreditation.
Of accreditation, right. And this, I think, said in the other briefing note that it's been approved and reviewed and read by the directors, I believe.
Reviewed, yep.
Yep,
Look
reviewed
at the executive team.
at the executive table and with Shu. Yes?
Thank you. Angela, could you elaborate part of a presentation? What prompted this? Have you reviewed it? Like, did council initiate this? Where
No,
did this
it's
come
part
from?
of accreditation.
Which presentation?
Accreditation,
Oh, accreditation.
yes. Yes, it's part of the policies that are needed for our accreditation, so we can maintain our standing.
Thank you. Accreditation to what?
Yeah, I'm not understanding too.
Accreditation,
Is that ISO or is that
yes,
something like
it's like
ISO?
ISO, yes.
Thank you. Is it just a level of standards and services?
It sets a higher level of standard, basically, that we're maintaining, and we've been accredited, I don't even know how many years now. Through, most of it's the health
Over a
department,
century.
at least,
At least 10.
maybe,
I'll
Yeah.
motion.
thank you.
Okay. Just looking for a briefing note. I think it's just-
Oh,
We've already motioned to approve.
Yeah.
Do we have a seconder?
I'll second.
Linda? Everybody okay with that?
I'm okay with it, yes.
Yep, Chris? Good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. MCR for funding of the tourism center. So there's an MCR needed for the ISC requires an MCR for the funding of the detailed design, which is the next step in the creation of the Tyendinaga Tourism Center. So there's an MCR wording attached and a briefing note attached. Yes.
Is this for the CCAN?
No,
No,
No?
this is a new build.
correct. The prior council did not want to renovate the CCAN, so we've started down the path of feasibility and design and all of this. This is just the next step in having the building in that area. It's in that area.
And there
That's
was,
where it's already been designated by council to
and there
go.
was a feasibility study done that determined we need a tourism center to.
That was the first phase. Council had approved that as well,
Yeah.
the feasibility study.
Okay.
And
'Cause I agree
they,
with the chief that once again,
Was that 2 or 3
where are we
months
sending
ago?
them?
It was a couple. It was before you guys started,
Yeah.
but I believe the location was approved in the first few months of this term.
Yes, it was.
so the MBQ initiated an RFP to select design firms to complete the feasibility and design development for new tourist and visitors center. That's been completed, and now they're moving on to the detailed design phase of the project. So there is a budget amount. The recommendations are to approve and award the contract to Smoke Architecture for $274,242, and to approve the above project budget totaling $308,716, of which MBQ will contribute 10% and ISE will fund $71,000. And the $206,826 remaining will come from the ROD, the Rural Ontario Development Fund.
I'll motion.
Motion?
I'll second that.
And you're motioning 1 and 2, O'Quarry? And Chris, you seconded it.
Yes.
Chris B. Is everybody okay with that?
I'm not.
No? Would you
I'd
like
rather-
to
no, I
negative?
don't like the idea. I think we could spend our money elsewhere.
Okay.
Because I've been to other travel and tourism buildings and they all tell me the same thing. They don't make money.
Negative.
So it'll be just like putting money into like the other programs that we can't find funding for. Consciously, I can't say yes to that.
I agree with Linda. I think first you got to put the places to come to in place, and then the tourism center versus the tourism center, and then say, go to the county? Like, where are you sending them?
That one I noticed, that's sitting there for years and
They haven't got one in the
they
county.
got no money, and they said they haven't had any money. The first year they got funding and they haven't gotten funding since.
Who,
So-
Belleville?
Yeah, that one at, that little one that looks like a cabin
They got funded. They got funded.
this year.
Yep.
Chris,
I was
you're
just down
negative?
It
asking.
doesn't make money.
Negative?
I don't know what those tourism centers
But
are
we
like,
don't,
but this one.
and my other
here
thing is, what are we gonna tourist? We got, all we got is, we don't have anything right now
Yeah,
to
I-
have a tourism, like,
Uh,
Picton.
Yes, how I was explained by Deanna is that they would promote all of the businesses here on the territory. And for those people that are only driving on the 49 highway to cross into the county, they don't see what businesses we have here to offer. And they would be displaying every single business that we have with locations, telephone numbers, contacts. Plus, in the design of the building itself is meant to be office space for an income to generate income for the tourism building. That's what I was explained.
Yeah, there
Plus
would
the
be some
Economic
rental
Development
options
Board
in it
will
as
pay
well,
a rent.
right?
And sorry,
The Economic Development Board, which will also pay a rent.
so that would be an income from the economic
So
development.
there would be both space for both like MBQ programs as well and spaces for
think
potential business owners to rent,
yeah,
commercial
for
space to
business.
rent?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Chris?
the Active Board.
Thank you. Those are good points, Chris, but in this day and age, a kids yacht can do those things. Social, media can do that. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have a building. Costs a lot of money to keep the lights on, costs a lot of money to put someone there, and that's why most people anymore, there's a kids yacht. Doesn't require lights on or people. Thank you. I agree with Linda.
Chip?
Well,
Were you okay with it or?
Are you okay? or- It doesn't matter.
we have to do something here, though. Everybody's saying like you haven't got a tourism in Picton. There is no tourism building. There's nothing there. That one little one in Belleville, there's nothing in Napanee. I think the next coastal one is Kingston. Is theirs, and that's down by the water. But I don't know. We have to do something here. It'd be nice so you could showcase the businesses here to see what they want, but if you can in turn generate revenue coming out of that building or renters or whatever you want to call it, I'm good with that. Like if it can sustain itself, I understand where Linda's coming from that too, but we got to start someplace.
It's, my thought too is that, we can't sit here and say it's not gonna make money because we cannot see into the future.
Exactly, and that's why I
yeah,
can't consciously say, I
exactly.
wanna spend all this community dollars.
And that's
and
well
then have
taken.
Community on my back, I consciously, I can't do that.
This is applying for funding to do it.
Yeah, it's not going
It's
to be
not
community
gonna be
development.
money. It's
Specific
all just
funding
like
for-
other,
Just to
um,
help
don't
ease your
have to
mind.
do it.
No, it's just an application.
That's fine if you
I wish-
just wanna make that decision.
yeah, I wish I could see the
I still
future
not.
just to see if this would work, but, any business that is starting up, they're in a sense of taking a chance that the business will work. And, yeah, so you stop, you put a halt to everything because you don't know if it's gonna make money or if it's gonna, anyway, this isn't to
Is it,
start the shovel in the ground, start construction. It's for application for funding.
and is its intent to be a money-making thing or to be like a program service?
I think it's more to bring money into the community
Oh,
for
okay.
our businesses. And aren't we also, like, you know, the calls to action, all that stuff. We're supposed to be educating people on our true reality and stuff like that. Is that not an opportunity to do that through that as well?
This might be it'd be a conversation with the new council, but I'm behooved at how we have economic development here, corporation over here, but there's no connection. They're both in isolation. But they're the same organization, but complete isolation. They should be working together. If it's a community and the dev board's pushing for big things, but over here, the small guys and little girls, maybe they want some of that action. So our act dev engine should be complementing over here. We should be integrated, not isolation. And that's how it is. Diana's never been involved in any of our discussions, and that's just weird.
Would that be a part of this though? As part of the corporation, would the tourism center fall under the ECDEV? Question to Angela.
Probably good.
Yeah, so we should defer it for them. That's their job.
Well, once the
Economic
board's
development, not ours.
established. we
Once
can
the
do
board
that.
is assembled, I think, yeah, it
I think they
would
can
fall
migrate
under the
over there.
exact same
It can-
umbrella.
It can migrate over there, but you need to get moving on that, right? We need to.
So Chip, I
Okay.
just need your response and then we can,
I'll give you my response to it.
are you positive?
Are you support or not support?
Yeah.
I guess?
In
Yeah, I am.
support? Okay, so that motion is carried.
Because I said it's not the community's money right at the moment. And it might not be at all.
Oops. I don't think that's all. Business registration renewal for Threadworks Custom Embroidery.
Motion.
I'll second.
Motioned by Chris. Everybody okay with that? Motion carried. So we have MCR wording for allotment of Lot 9 Industrial Park. This is the MCR needed for the land that was already approved to be sold on September 17th, 2025. So the MCR would read that the land hereunder described and situated on the Tyendinaga Mohawk territory be allotted to Matthew Allen Daniel Weldon in accordance with Section 20, subsection 1 of the Indian Act RSC 1985. Land description, the whole of Lot 9, Tyendinaga Industrial Park Concession 1, as shown on plan number CLSR 95029. So I just need a motion for the MCR. The purchase of the land was already approved and paid for. Yes, Chris?
I'm negative. We've learned that this, as I said way back then, this doesn't adhere to our policy that this should have been advertised to the community. And now we have staff saying, yeah, in the future you will advertise the community. It should have been advertised community then.
Industrial parks have always been open to the community.
Sorry?
The industrial park that's the one that we don't advertise out, or if the lot across the road we want to sell, that's what we advertise out. The industrial park has always been open for people to come in and.
Okay, so we had community members come to council a few weeks ago wanting to buy industrial lots. They were told we don't have, well, I won't say their names, but the
No, I'm
community
just
mem-
trying to recall what you're.
Okay. So industrial lots, they come to buy industrial lots. They were told we don't have any service industrial lots for sale.
Are you talking the second phase?
Right, but it says we don't know about infrastructure, but it also says when we're ready, we will tell the community. It's in the staff report on items here. When we are going to get these lots ready, serviced, we will let the community know. But we didn't let the community know that these lots were for sale. And if we did let the community know in the public, please show it to me and I will publicly apologize, but I've never seen it posting to the community.
Chris?
My question is that, how long ago was phase one established? What year was that? Like, how many years ago did that happen?
The 90s?
So back in the
At
90s,
least, if not soon.
if we're going to dig as far as we are back in the 90s, that phase one, we're up for sale to anybody that wants to purchase these lands. Well, should we be setting out under a notice year after year after year after year for that land being available? And I know right well that, yes, somebody had come to us a little while ago, not very long ago, but looking for land in phase two. But we had sent out a letter or a response that phase two is not up for sale.
We were supposed to do it on this meeting, but I don't see it.
Oh, so I thought we had discussed that
We had
before.
a discussion.
I think we can establish a plan for how we would like to let the community know going forward for phase two.
Absolutely, we should. I mean, we have to, so the community knows.
And we're already
So-
starting to look at options on where we can apply for funding to help us put infrastructure in.
But like Chris was saying, and that's what the point was getting at, back in the 90s, and it's a little bit of digging, but was there actually a notice put out for anybody wanting to buy it? And a silly question is, do we do that every single year about that property?
We don't put something out every single year that there's land for sale in the industrial park. It's just, if people are interested, they come in and say, hey, is this lot available?
So that's
And we
what's
say-
happened in this case, though,
But the
is
minutes,
my
it's
point.
always been in the minutes that, you know, about the industrial park and what people, when we allot it and everything, that's all public.
Okay.
And this lot here for Matthew Weldon, is that part of the phase one?
Yes.
Yes.
I guess to put it into context, is that your policy in the 90s or 2010, 2025, if it's transparency, it's transparency. Because Chris, what you don't know is that they put a moratorium on selling for 5 or 6 years. So nothing went out.
They wouldn't
And
sell their
community members,
records.
those community members were like, what is this lease stuff? Like nothing's going on. So some of us on council said, look, let's sell the darn lots because nothing's happening with this leasing that was going on forever and ever. So everybody just for 5 years just forgot about it and just given up because nothing happened for 5 years.
I believe,
Then all of a sudden, bingo bango, they're being bought up.
Well,
But
there was
Did
motion.
the
saying to
community at
sell.
large, ever know about that? Did we ever tell the community at large, hey, we're not leasing no more, we're selling?
I'm pretty sure there's probably motion.
I believe at the beginning of this term,
Term,
we
yeah.
I think.
motioned to
June of
sell and it was in the
2024 was when we-
minutes and on YouTube.
It was public.
Yeah, we made public motion
Mm-hmm.
that the land is.
So-
or start selling land.
Yeah, to bring this to the point of order, this has been approved, the sale's been approved, it's bought and paid for, we just need the approval for the MCR wording.
All motion.
Chris
I'll second.
Brandt, seconded by O'Gorry. Chris is negative, Chip and Linda,
No, I'm good.
you're good?
Chris is negative.
I'm good.
Yep.
It's especially if it's part of the phase one.
Yep, it's part of phase one.
But we were talking about considering, we need to put infrastructure into phase two so we can get it set up to start opening it up again.
Absolutely.
And is there, and could we put anything in there, Aaron, to say that
I think that's a separate motion.
when phase two does get approved, that we do announce it?
Yeah, so we would just make a separate motion, so if
Like,
you,
like Chris was mentioning, that should be made public, a public awareness that when phase two is up for sale, that the public knows about it. They come to free willing, looking for parcels of industrial
Well,
land.
that's what I believe should
No,
happen.
somebody
Like,
just jumping on.
like you said, with phase one,
Yeah.
it was probably already announced that they were for sale. So now that we're
That's
getting
right.
phase two ready, let's make sure we make it public.
And nothing is to be sold, I don't, until the infrastructure, everything is in place in phase two, and then we make a notice.
Yep, I agree.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chris.
And we can do it, like advertise more as we go forward, for sure.
okay, so, excuse me, I have that reading. When phase two is available, we will we will post it a public notice, post a public notice, and nothing will be sold until the infrastructure is in place. Is that okay for your motion? Yep. Do you want to second that?
Yes.
Yeah, Chris, is everybody okay with that? Yeah. That motion is carried. And
So is that a different motion?
yeah, that's just a separate motion. I just recorded it with a big star on this.
So that's
It's just a separate motion.
Okay.
Linda?
After this. Do you want me to read it?
Oh,
or
you
you-
were second?
No, if the sheet's there, that's
Yep,
good.
I wrote on it.
Okay.
But did you do the land allotment?
Yes.
Okay, can I just
Yep,
have the
that was
number?
by Chris Brandt and Ogwari, and it was carried with a negative vote by Chris Miracle. Does just Chief sign the land transfers?
Yes.
So I don't need to sign this? Okay. So the following are land transfers. Just gotta find it. So there is a land transfer from Thomas Edward Green and Donna Maureen Green to Thomas Edward Green, Donna Maureen Green, and Thomas Brennan David Green as joint tenants for Lot 30G-2-1, Concession A, CLSR 76356. A land transfer from Lisa Ann Brandt Francis to the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte for Lot 20A-1, Concession 1, CLSR 70991. Parcel A, Lot 19, Concession 2, CLSR 4489. Parcel B, Lot 21, Concession 1, CLSR 51173. And Lot 20A-2-2, Concession 1, RSO 3003. A land transfer from Tanya Joy Barty to Tyler Galveston Green for Lot 30H-5, Concession A, RSO 5998R. A land transfer from Karen Elizabeth McConnell to Elizabeth Danielle McConnell for Lot 3-2 in part of Lot 33, Concession A, CLSR 62997.
A motion.
Second?
Moved by Bulgari and Chip. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Yes. Motion's carried. Chief will sign those when he's back. So there is an update to the Red Cedars Policy Manual. The revised Red Cedars Policy Manual is being presented for approval. The process to complete the revisions included a series of meetings and discussions to ensure Red Cedars processes are properly captured in the manual. And as sections were revised, they were shared with Red Cedars staff for input and suggestions that were added to the subsequent drafts. The document has been developed and reviewed with the policy analyst as well. The recommendation is that TMC approve the Red Cedars Policy Manual. You have a motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
Linda and Ogwari. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes, I'm good.
Good. Motion's carried.
They will be very happy because this has been a long time. They've been working through all this.
Nice. Yeah, it was big. I was looking at it last night.
A long time.
Oh, this has a signature page for just the chief. AIAI MOU for the youth culture camps. So MBQ has been in receipt of an agreement from AIAI for $12,000 for the delivery of youth culture camps, and these funds are used for March break. So we
I'll motion that.
motion to accept.
I'll second.
Ooh, that was a tie.
Paper, scissors, rocks.
Who are you giving it to?
I'm giving it to Chip. Everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Yep, motion carried. And Chief will sign that, or CAO. Funding agreement between CMHA and HPE and MBQ. So MBQ has been working with the Canadian Mental Health Association of Hastings and Prince Edward for the delivery of services through the provision of an Indigenous community outreach worker at the Homelessness and Addiction Recovery and Treatment Heart Hub. The agreement is for MBQ to work with the Indigenous clients at the Heart Hub with the other service providers. So this agreement is in the amount of $86,292.26.
I'll motion that
Second.
as it started in October.
Okay.
And I'll second.
Second, third. So I think that was Chris and Ogwari, was it? First?
Yeah, that's, it's funny that they come so late with this.
They do.
Oh, well.
Everybody okay with that? Motion
Can we take like a
carried.
5-minute break?
Sure. Oh, I was going to do that at 10:30 and then it got away from me. We were moving so well. We're just going to take a 5-minute break and then we'll be back.
We're now live.
Okay, thanks everybody. We're gonna get right back into it because we have a big agenda. So the next item is the ISC amendment number 00113 for the current fiscal year. Is to acknowledge and approve the amendments forward by the ISC for additional program funding for the fiscal year 25-26. So the amendment number 113 for JP Education Assistance in the amount of $615,014. The amendment number 114 for the Head Start programs and services, $520,000 and, $520.59. Head Start partnership and governance. $30,609 for Head Start capital. Oh, wait. $146,280. Amendment 115, reporting changes. That does not need to be signed. Amendment number 116 for children's oral health for $39,000. Recommendation is to approve the amendment for the funding to flow.
Motion.
I'll second that.
Oguari and Chris Brandt. Everybody okay with that? Motion's carried. This one is for everybody to sign.
Just the one spot.
Great.
3 spots?
3 spots. 3 spots.
It's just a bill that's put on by breakfast or whatever, starting.
Oh, yes, I seen about that, but I won't be here.
She's cooking for like 600. He's
Yeah,
just stopping
yeah.
and had breakfast.
Yeah, I'll be at the AFLDC board meeting tomorrow.
Carry on, we'll just pass this around.
Are you guys okay with that? If we carry around while that's being signed?
Sure.
Okay. The next thing is acknowledgement for the signing of Derek Wong invoices. So number 889, $11,995.20 for economic, they're all for economic development matters. Number 890 for $10,595.20. Number 891 for $14,105. 892, $9,440.20. Number 893, $14,340.20. 894, $14,000, and 895, $5,075.
Oh,
hold
sorry,
on one
can I
sec.
just note, these are October's and November's invoices.
Okay, combination of October and November.
Because there was no meeting in the middle of November.
Right.
And also note that the majority of these are all capacity. We already have funding
Funding for
agreements to
them.
cover them.
Right. Chris?
Yeah, typically he's 25, 30,000 every couple of weeks. I'm going
Once a
to make a motion to defer for further review of these invoices because all of a sudden it's 25,000 every 2 weeks, and all of a sudden this week it's like 85, 90. So just to ensure there's no duplication, I think we should defer this for further review.
All of the breakdowns are in your file.
Motion's on the floor.
So Chris has a motion. Is there a seconder for his motion to defer?
You say this is October and November?
This is
Yes.
October and November, and the breakdowns are included in the private portion of the agenda.
It's because there was no meeting on November 17th. And that's when those one set of bills would come forward. And it's once a month that he bills.
There's no dates on this, on these, state issue? Like, there's just numbers of 889 through
If you
895?
go down under private, it's under legal invoices private.
Oh, okay. well,
That's where the
okay,
specific
go down.
breakdown is.
Okay. Just wanted to do that. Like Chris was mentioning, that nothing is duplicated.
It's duplicated.
They're
I
not.
checked every invoice.
Okay.
But it missed one.
Yep, if there's a breakdown under every single one. Those are private.
What are we doing now?
So is there a seconder for Chris's motion to defer? Are you comfortable with the information that's been provided?
I'm comfortable with the information that's been provided, but I do agree with Chris that at some point we do have to, because some of this stuff, once we get our own economic development commission in,
Yeah, I imagine it would flow through that budget.
Yep.
I acknowledge that Chris made a very good point, but if the facts state that nothing has been duplicated, I will second Linda's motion to pay it.
Okay, so for the first motion, we don't have a seconder. No seconder.
Shelley, you confirmed that, did you? You said?
Okay, thank you.
So the next motion was to pay or acknowledge the payments, Linda? And Chris Brandt, second?
Yes.
Chip and
I'm good.
Worry?
Yep.
Chris, do you want to vote?
I'm sorry?
Are you comfortable with that, or do you want to vote?
No, I thought, well,
You made a motion to defer, so there wasn't a seconder for that. And now the next motion was by Linda and Chris to pay. So if you'd like to
I'll
vote
just take
negative.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I'm sorry. I'll just stay with my negative.
Negative, okay.
Post. Thank you.
So that motion is carried. The JFK law invoices, so there's one for number 404145. It's $18,394.50 for cannabis enforcement.
All motion.
confused.
Um,
Why are we paying for it?
It is going to be, I believe there was an email,
OPC.
there was an email sent out that we will cover the cost and OPP will reimburse us back that money.
Oh, so
That
we're
was it, that was in the
that.
email, and I acknowledged that, yes, I made a motion that, yes, that we go ahead with that. So, JFK is representing, our
Yeah, I
Tyendinaga
understood that
Police
they were
Service, and
recommending them. I just didn't understand how we were paying for it.
they,
this is for our own as well.
this is for us and as well. But there was also an email sent out by, yeah,
The breakdown for this is in the agenda, or in your agenda as well, in the private invoices for the JFK law.
No, my only confusion was that I thought it was being paid for through the OPP and not through us. That was my only confusion.
The event itself was, now this is for a case that was brought against MBQ.
Yep.
I can discuss that part in private. But for now, Chris has motion to approve.
I'll
We need a-
second it.
Chip is second. Is anybody against, or are you guys okay with it? This is to pay the invoice.
We have to pay it if it's against us.
That motion's carried. Hicks Morley. These are for HR legal matters. Check number 715932 for $2,088. 840955 for $3,096. 843582 for $8,668. The total of the invoices is $13,852. Do we have a motion to acknowledge?
I'll motion.
Corey, do we have a seconder?
I'll second it. Is this the total to date that we're done with our lawsuits? No?
Oh, I don't think so.
We
Just
still
those
got,
last 3 invoices.
we still got 3 more cases?
I don't know how many, but
Oh, okay. I'm just asking.
this is just whenever there's interaction with Hicks Morley.
Right,
If they need to call and get support
whether
for
there's
Is this,
investigations or whatever the.
is
whatever's
this that
going on.
Shauna?
Was
Is this
what?
Shauna?
Usually
Oh, okay.
Yep, yep.
that's Shauna, and they are also in the
folder.
in the folder
where you
has the
can see.
breakdown of who they
Okay.
talk to.
I'm just asking.
Yep, absolutely. Everybody okay with that one? Motion's carried. The next one is the Mohawk Community Center policy. So following TMC's direction to revise the community center policy by increasing the number of eligible applications from nonprofit organizations or groups from 1 to 3, and that would be for a decreased fee. Additional policy changes requested includes increasing the kitchen rate from 50 to 250 and increasing the deposit amount to $300 per floor. And that TMC approved the policy changes.
Just why is such a big, this kitchen rate from 50 to 250?
Yeah, I don't recall discussing that aspect. I only recall discussing the rental
No,
rate.
I don't either.
No, I don't either.
Oh, it wasn't discussed. So is that a recommendation coming from?
Why such a big
Somewhere?
jump, though?
She didn't tell
I
me.
didn't even,
Can,
So we
That-
can
that's
take that
just-
portion off.
The two
For now.
The what?
It would be an addition.
No addition to the 300.
So you pay, not, excuse me. Now you pay 300 and then you'd pay an additional 50, but they want to increase it to 250 for use of the kitchen for a total of 550.
so just using the kitchen is gonna cost $250 right off, and then the deposit of 300 on top of that.
Right.
I think that's a little too steep.
I do too.
I think that's way too steep. I mean, to double it, I can see maybe,
250, that's major jump.
and another, well, we're on that, community center, and I don't know if I'm out of order, but, there is, they do have, signs stating that, whoever is renting a floor, let's say let's say the downstairs, they ask you to put the tables and everything the way that that you had found it, which is normal, but it also asks you to sweep the floor, to do all of the cleanup. So what are the people that are actually working there, what are they cleaning then?
Yeah, I'm not.
Like, if you're asking the people that are renting for this amount of $250, why do those renters have to clean the whole place before they leave, or they don't get their deposit back? I think that's a little excessive.
We can review that too. So in this moment, then, would you guys like to defer this for additional information or decline it and just go with the increasing the number of the eligible applications for the nonprofits? We did discuss that.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
to allow them to apply 3 times for the
Yes.
reduced rate
Yeah, 3 times.
from
Yes,
1
we
to
did.
3.
We
But,
said 2, but it got negotiated to 3.
but I'd be good with that part of it, but I cannot see going from such an increase of, from the 50 to 250.
Do you want to decline that completely?
I would like to know the reason why such a steep
Okay.
increase.
I'd have to get that from Tommy, and he's at a meeting on the long-term
Okay.
care business.
So can we defer
defer
that?
portion? Do you want to approve?
Yes, please.
Or do you want to defer the whole thing?
No, I would like
We'll
to
approve the
defer
first.
that particular one, but leave the rest as I'm good with that.
Okay, so Chris,
And I will second
B.
Chris's motion.
Linda. Is everybody okay with approving increasing the number to 3? That's carried. It's 2, 3, and defer the remainder. For more information. Okay. Hydro One customer service contract for the Head Start edition. So Hydro One customer service contract needs to be signed by TNC for the Head Start edition. So this is to approve to sign the Hydro One contract.
All motion.
I'll second.
Corey. Linda. Anybody opposed? Motion's carried.
And you have that?
Yep, and I'll pass it around. Are you guys okay to continue while that goes around for signing?
Yeah.
So the next item is the CMHC Section 95 loan renewal. So the loan renewal for CMHC Section 95 loan for CMHC reference 19-549-351-004 requires approval and signature. So Ogore, do we have a seconder?
I'll second.
Chip. Anybody opposed? Seeing none, motion's carried.
No.
It was Ogore and Chip. And there is a signature required on this as well.
Chip.
Chip.
Nope.
Sorry. Attention.
He doesn't even pay attention. He's so cheap, he is.
The next item is the building inspector follow-up. So the OFNTSC is no longer able to provide MBQ with the residential building inspections. The Alternative 3D Remote Inspections Limited has provided an agreement to provide inspection services for MBQ in the meantime. So for background, our current inspector was John Osawabene. They advise that they'll be retiring effective December 2025. TMC approved to contract OFNTSC as an interim approach until MBQ could execute building code compliance inspections in-house. They have now informed MBQ that due to staffing issues, they can no longer commit to the MBQ building inspection providers. They will reevaluate at the end of November and let us know if anything has changed. The Housing and Bond Property team has reached out to another building inspection provider in order to avoid potential interruptions to services. 3D Remote Building Inspection Limited has indicated that their service can meet our requirements, and the cost summary has been provided. The recommendation is to approve the BCR and sign the attached service agreement to obtain 3D Remote Inspections Limited to complete the inspections on an interim basis, while MBQ further investigates options to bring the inspections in-house. So this is an interim solution so that we have housing inspectors.
The interim,
Yes.
is there a time frame on that, or should there be a time frame, or?
Let me check the MCR.
I mean, obviously, we need somebody to inspect right now. But I was just wondering what kind of time frame are we looking at of securing a firm that will be a full-time inspecting service for MBQ?
I think what we were trying to do is like to train
Make it in-house.
internally, to have somebody
Internal?
be able to do that for us.
I think we're looking at all our options.
Yeah.
Because you have to make sure there's insurance and all that fun stuff too.
Yeah, so anyway, it gets back to the question of timeframes.
Yeah, I don't see that in the briefing note, so we can ask. Yes,
Yep. I thought we had a community member who was taking training the last few years and wanted to pursue this. I
think
haven't
we've
heard
got
from that
several
person in a
people
while.
taking it.
I don't want to mention any, we shouldn't mention names here,
no
but
names yet.
They
We were
were-
provided information back that they
Yep.
didn't have the qualifications.
They lack some,
Yeah.
okay? And I think AFLDC was reached out to see if they could provide the rest of that training. And we haven't heard anything back.
Can
That
we
was-
try to find out
I
about
don't
that
know.
then?
Well, as of now, they weren't qualified to be able
No.
to do it.
But
we
was
should
it-
be able
They're-
to work with them to
Look.
get them qualified.
Yes, I think they responded to us and asked us what we would like them to have. And I'm not sure where it's gone from there.
Well, I'm sure there's.
So can
minimum they
we,
got to have.
so can we then, if there is no time frame, can we have an agreement that it is, from month to month basis?
Yeah, do you want to,
Can we do
do we want
that?
to defer this and see
And-
if we're
and would
able
they-
to ask Tommy if there is a time frame?
Yep.
And if they would be willing to accommodate that?
But
Okay.
usually agreements let you get out of them.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're in a position to mentor. Aren't they 3D? Don't you take pictures and send it away? They don't come on site?
I don't know anything about them, so.
Okay, because some of the, especially in northern communities, you take pictures and then you send it to the inspector. They don't actually go to the community.
Because I know when John came here, he came right here and he physically went to each place.
He did, but he also, I talked to him before. He did, that's exactly what Chris is saying. That's what he did do. Or they did do, sorry. They took all the pictures, what he required, and he told them where he wanted, and they would send them to him, and then he would do his evaluation on it. He used to, now, I'm assuming he still did it on the way up communities, right? So,
And then can 3D inspect RAP? Who's our RAP inspector moving forward?
no idea on
I
that.
didn't even know we had one.
Well, usually you have to have inspections for the RAP to get.
Oh, I thought John did all of those.
See, John did do that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. John did them all.
What's the plan?
so I imagine this one too. So let's defer this then. Do we need a motion to defer?
Yes.
Yeah, Chris?
A motion.
I'll second that motion, yeah.
Okay,
so we
check.
get answers.
For more information. Anybody opposed? Motion's carried. CMHC RAP 2627. So the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte have been conditionally approved for a $60,000 RAP allocation for the fiscal year 26-27. This approves a new process that includes a community expression of interest followed by an application intake that reviews applicant through a selection committee based on the proposed point system. Yes, Chris.
So Angela, do you know if safeguards have been put in place? Because we used to have policies and procedures in place regarding RAP. And then a few years back, the policies and procedures were put on the wayside. We were then suspended for 5 years from the CMHC RAP programs, which meant 100,000, 20,000 a year wasn't coming to the community for 5 years. And we still have the fiasco as a result of that to deal with at some point. At the end of the day, we probably looking at $1 million of losses as a result of not adhering to policy. So Angela, the safeguards put back in place that we had in place years ago.
I would say that the policies are still applicable.
I'm sorry?
The policies have not been, what's the word? Yeah.
When I raised this issue 4 years ago, when I learned of us being suspended, I asked about the policies and procedures, and I was told we've thrown them all out the window, the policies and procedures that we put in place so that we don't end up getting suspended or eating $1 million losses. That's why we put things in place. And I understand it was thrown out. So if we're going to entertain more RAPs, we should have safeguards in place so we don't repeat that same mistake.
Yes, exactly. So can we look into that policy and procedure and update it if need be so that we don't get suspended again?
Yeah, we can probably get a response
Okay.
once Tom is back.
Okay.
You guys can talk to him.
So do you want to approve it with the addition of policies? Ensuring the policies are in place?
I think we should ensure that the policies are in place first before.
So do you want to defer it?
So can we defer it?
So Chris B. Do you have a
You don't need
seconder?
to get in trouble again.
A seconder to defer?
I'll second it.
Linda? Chris and Linda?
Chris Brandt.
Yeah, to defer. To ensure policies are in place. Anybody opposed? Motion's carried. Tiny house hydro connections. Hydro One customer service contracts are required to be approved by BCR and signed by TMC for the 2 new tiny houses at 5655 Old Highway 2. Recommendation is to approve the connections by BCR and sign the attached Hydro One customer service contracts.
I'll motion.
Jared.
I'll second.
Ogwari and Chip.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. Anybody opposed? Motion's carried. I think this is just for the chief to sign this portion. The Elders Lodge sprinkler retrofit. The tender closed with the following results, which does not include provisional items. Drocon for $132,686.70. Buildall for $136,114.03. Earthcrete Ontario Inc. for $143,021.90. Drocon's bid back was deemed incomplete by Oshkosh Buis Engineering and Consulting. The recommendation is to award the contract to Buildall Contractors for $136,114.03 and a total project budget of $164,225.
I'll motion that.
I just have a quick question, just my clarification. What is with provisional items? What's that mean?
Is that
Is that their
additional things?
extras?
Probably extra.
Incidentals?
Oh, okay.
If you look on the combined tender and evaluation, there's stuff missing from Drupal.
And that's why they got,
And that's why they were.
their bid was incomplete. Yes,
Thank you, I
Chris?
appreciate that.
Yep. Yes.
Thank you. Are any of these companies sprinkler companies? When you hire a sprinkler company to do sprinklers? Because these guys just turn around and hire a sprinkler company and you know you're
Believe-
going to pay extra.
It was tendered out.
I know, I'm asking, were sprinkler companies, Angela, do you know if sprinkler companies were invited to tender, and if not, why not? if it's sprinklers?
Can't tell you if it went directly knocking on someone's sprinkler.
I didn't say
open
knock
door.
on their door.
No,
Be
I
cheeky.
don't, what I'm saying is I can't answer if that's the case, but tenders usually go out.
Yeah, they're normally posted on our website and
Exactly.
social media that the tender's going out.
And mailed around.
But you see where he's coming from that though.
Exactly.
It,
He has a good point. But in saying that, we've never, in the past, we've had situations where tenders were granted to that particular company, whoever it may be, and they subcontracted that particular job out to another company. But if that's the case, then as long as the job gets done.
This is for the incoming water service, not the sprinklers.
yeah. See, what they have to do to upgrade the sprinkler system in there, they have to put another water system in. They have to run another main line from the water
From the
to
water line
building
into the
to
building.
supply it.
So, and that's what this is.
That's on top of their other water system they already have in there to run the units.
So it's to upgrade to an 8-inch service. That's
Yes.
required.
Yeah. It's a,
And that's,
I'm
and
good.
that's what the main is, 8-inch down there.
Yeah.
So it's a new service coming in.
The sprinklers
Which they have the
themselves.
experience to do because they've done that kind of work.
Yeah.
They're doing the retrofit.
Yeah, it just, it's
Your
not
motion
kind
to
of written
approve?
that way.
Yes.
It is and it isn't, but
Okay, do we have a seconder?
I'll second.
Second. Anybody opposed?
So who is it going to?
Bill Dahl.
At 136, 114?
Yep. Seeing none, the motion's carried. The addition of the admin assistant position to the organization structure for education. So currently the Director of Education, Language and Culture has no administration and or finance analyst support, which most directors have. This directorate is responsible for 12 programs and is set to assume 2 new programs this year with 14 separate budgets. These programs are spread out geographically, making it more challenging to be directly involved, and employs 85 full-time permanent and or seasonal staff with approximately 10 casual term staff. This position also works in partnership with a multitude of external agencies and sits on multiple boards and committees. This is one of the larger directorates and one of the more challenging, with a variety of funders and staff spread across the territory. The recommendation is to approve the addition of the admin assistant to Director of Education, Language and Culture position and permanently add it to the organizational structure. Yes.
Thank you. To save time, I'm asking council to consider a motion to defer the HR items 30, 31, 32, 34, and 40. To defer these HR items till a new council. We're out of here in 3 days, folks. 3 days, we're out of here. I talked to a lawyer. We're in no position to make decisions for the new council on who they hire. Blanket motion to defer the HR issues until we're done with our internal stuff. And then we're in a much better position to speak to these issues. And again, we're lame ducks. We're done in 3 days. We can wait. Shouldn't be making these decisions. Thank you. Motion to defer 30, 31, 32, 34, and 40. Motion to defer to the new council.
Motion
All these new hires.
to defer 30 through 34? Or
No, number
33?
33 is separate.
So 31 and 32?
So 30, 31, 32.
30, 31.
Save time, a lot of discussion, because the discussion was going to go back to the same thing.
So just for reference, council doesn't hire
I know.
any of
I
these
just meant,
positions.
let's just not have this on our
Can
agenda.
I talk, please?
Sure.
We don't hire any positions. This is the motion to get it added to the current org structure, or the recommendation coming to add it to the current organizational structure. And then it would go be with whoever it be with, HR, CEO. That's just an additional information. So Chris has made a motion to defer 30, 31, and 32. Is there a seconder for those motions?
I'll have to second it.
And I agree.
And is there anybody opposed?
No.
Motion carried. So that would be the education, excuse me, directorate admin assistant position is deferred. The education addition of the youth enrichment and development program manager position to the org structure, that's also for education, is deferred. And the addition of a community consultation coordinator is also deferred. And that is the person who is being hired to perform the 4 pillars plan,
Correct.
FYI.
Yes.
So
So
deferring
that
that as
money
well.
can't be accessed until that is done.
So that will remain stagnant. Okay, so Andrew Clifford Miracle Judgment. So this is to proceed with the transfer of the Eagle Hill property.
That's
There's
Chris's item.
Chris, this is your item, so I don't have additional information.
I'll second his motion.
I don't know what the motion is. Right now, we're on the,
The motion is that it's been such a long time now that the Andrew Clifford Miracle owes the band the amount of $436,602.74 and is not paying anything towards that. So it's been going on for such a long time that the only way that we get that money from him is by taking property back, which is his property that he owns on the Eagle Hill. So
this is, just to clarify, so this is in public. Do you want to proceed with this in private or in public? Does it need discussion? If we're discussing anybody's personal information before we make the motion?
Council, this is something that I brought forward, but it's not just my decision.
I don't know, yeah,
If
I don't
if
know
it's
enough
public-
background information on it, so I didn't know if we need to go any farther into discussion, but that's just a question of where you want it in the agenda.
Yep. I second Chris's motion, send it on the legal counsel, they know what to do.
What's your motion?
My motion is that we do take back the property on Eagle Hill from Andrew Clifford Miracle for non-payment of what he owes the band. So we take his property back, and that offsets the money that's owed to the band office or to MBQ, to the people.
So do you want to send this to legal to ensure the process is done
Yes.
correctly? Okay.
Yes, please. This
I
is,
don't think
this
it
has
needs to
gone
go to
on.
legal. I think it just,
We got to make sure though
I
that.
have no idea.
there's a
what
whole process
any
that
of
we
this
went through
is.
with the other property, like, you're gonna have to, what is it? What's the word I'm looking for?
We didn't need to
Expropriate?
scratch our heads,
Expropriate.
folks. The chief knows this process. When the chief gets back, he'll walk you through it real quick.
Okay,
Yeah. it's-
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, I couldn't think of the word that I was gonna use.
expropriate?
No, but you have to put it up for sale and
Yeah.
the money that you get from that sale, and there's a minimum amount because it was appraised.
Yeah,
and
but
all
you
that.
have to do the
Bids.
transfer first,
Yeah.
and then you put it up for public tender.
Yes.
So,
And I think part of the court order was the chief had the authority to sign if Clifford refused to sign.
Right.
And then, but the thing is.
That was from the
we
judge's
have to-
report.
We have to, this is the first step. And we have to make the first step before we can make the second step.
so I just added then to begin the process. So Chris B motioned it, Chris M seconded it. Is anybody opposed? Seeing none, the motion is carried.
Yeah, there's some.
So schedule an Economic Development Corporation board meeting. So if you guys can look at your calendars.
Not really a
Eh?
council agenda item, no.
It's on the council agenda. Do we need it to be somewhere else?
So I put it on there because when I send the email, I didn't get any response. So this was the best way I knew how to get a date from everybody.
Okay. Yes, Chris.
Thank you. On Saturday, there's an election for new council. We might not be here in 3 days, so defer for the new council. That's.
Is that
what
your
number is
motion?
that?
I second that motion.
That was 34, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Don't we have to?
34.
There isn't
34,
times we
yeah.
have to sign off?
At our next
You
meeting.
can after the fact here.
Wait, there's
You're
one
in
more.
office till December 17th.
Yes.
Correct.
So you can sign off. If Saturday. Right?
Till your council until the 17th.
Yeah.
And then pending the election, you could be council after the 17th.
Or you could not be.
But you're still board members.
Until now.
Until you
Till
sign off.
17th, right?
You're still board members. I don't know if it ends on the 17th. That's why we were trying to have a day, why I kept asking for a day so we can go through the people that had, the community members that had applied.
Well, my situation right now is that my availability is only this week as I start back to work next week. And when I go to work, it's work that 15, 16-hour days.
So there wasn't a seconder yet for Chris's motion to defer.
I thought I did.
You
I
want to
thought
second
that
it?
was a part of the original one, wasn't it?
Chris Brandt.
Yeah.
Is anybody opposed? Seeing none, the motion's carried.
Accounts receivable. But we only have a couple items. Can you just hold on 2 seconds?
MBQ Deseronto Water and Sewer Agreement Extension. So the current MBQ Deseronto Water and Sewer Agreement term has expired as of November 10th, 2025. It was originally signed on November 10th, 2000. The town has a draft agreement under review by the legal team with the hopes of receiving it in early December. In the interim, the town council has approved a 90-day extension to the existing agreement. The recommendation is for TMC to support and approve a 3-month extension to the existing agreement while the updated agreement is being developed. Do I have a motion to
Almost.
extend?
I'll second.
Chip and O'Gorry.
So we can carry on and get these hooked up.
Yes.
So we
Is
can
there-
use, you
yeah.
can use those houses.
Absolutely. Anybody opposed?
No.
Motion's carried. Transportation Master Plan Proposal for ITIF funding. The Indigenous Transportation Initiatives Fund is an application-based funding program delivered by the Ontario Ministry of Transportation. It's open to Indigenous communities and organizations in Ontario interested in pursuing transportation-related projects. Infrastructure would like to submit proposal to the ITIF Fund for the development of a transportation master plan to be a living document that can be utilized as funding documentation. The Transportation Master Plan will support improved mobility, safety, and transportation planning to meet the current and future needs of the community. The recommendation for TMC is to approve the MBQ Transportation Master Plan proposal be submitted for the full $75,000 allowable amount to the Indigenous Transportation Initiatives funding. So it's an application for funding.
I had a question. Was it in email coming from AFLDC? Were they looking for support for this exact same funding application?
I saw that email too. I'm not sure if it's the same.
there was an email sent out that I had read, but I read over it just like quickly, and I just want to make sure that, both us and another entity here in our community isn't fighting against each other for the same application.
I could be wrong, but I thought that funding was for because they already have one van to do the homeless thing, but that ain't enough. So I thought, hold me if I'm wrong, but I thought it was about getting another van to do a different area.
That was one from AL Field DC, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, you're correct on that.
So is that different
That's what I
with
thought.
that?
That's different from this.
I'm just trying to find that email.
Yeah, hers it just says it's applying to the same fund.
But for a different purpose, right? Hers is for the homeless.
I didn't see the
Ours is
purpose
for
in
the
there.
before, because
It's a mobile workforce access and training van project.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Thanks for confirmation.
Ogwari has motion. Do we have a seconder?
I second.
All Linda seconded.
Anybody opposed?
Linda?
Motion's carried.
But we really do have to look into something because Desirana is quitting this month with their transportation.
December 31st.
And
I thought it was the end of last month.
and
They
Napanee
extended.
is already talking about cutting out their taxi service.
Who was?
Napanee,
Oh, yeah?
talking about cutting out their taxi service and thinking about getting their own transit, but just for the inside of Napanee. That's not gonna help our people.
Didn't Deserano stop because of funding? Didn't they have more, and people? Probably staffing and funding. We don't know what we need until we find out what we need.
Because I just know that we do have quite a few community members who use that transit system to get back and forth to work. Now they're scrambling because they don't know what they're gonna do come in the new year, how are they gonna get to work?
Right?
Oh, this was an add-on.
And you know what, Linda? We dropped the ball. We should have stepped up a couple years ago and partnered with Belleville, or with Desirone and others, because we're in the middle of this.
I think we could still
no
should
skin in the
have,
game.
be able to have that conversation with Desirano.
Potentially.
Still could.
That's what I'm thinking, or put it out to the new council.
So we have one last thing on the public agenda, and it is Allen Pratt invoices. Number 6421 for $1,662.50 for Culbertson. Number 6422 for $1,210 for surrender number 24. And number 6423 for $400 for the Culbertson tract addition to reserve. Do I have a motion to acknowledge those payments?
Motion.
Second.
Anybody opposed? Motion's carried. So that concludes the public portion of our meeting for today. Thanks to everybody who joined online. We will be going into private from here, so I'll need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Linda and, sorry, Ogwari and Linda.
Yeah.
Anybody opposed? Motion's carried.